Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ISAAC. Good morning, Toronto. Good morning, the world. We are so thrilled that you're all here to join us to share in the 17th Biennial Conference of the International Society for Augmentative and Alternative Communication. At this point, I'm going to ask everyone to please ensure, once again, that your cell phones, smartphones are turned to vibrate mode, please. For those of you who are able to rise, please rise as the procession being led by the Canadian flag and our executive board comes up onto the stage, and please then remain standing for the singing of O Canada.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, and please feel free to be seated. At this point, I'd just like to remind everyone, for those who would prefer to listen to this morning's proceedings translated into French, we have pre-announced the availability of simultaneous translation, which is available through your smartphone on the Westin Meeting Hall Wi-Fi network, and you can access that network through the password that was provided to you in your delegate bags. So at this point, we'll give a moment for anyone who wants to do that, to please do that, and then we'll move to the next portion of opening ceremonies this morning. And we'd like to begin the proceedings with the ISAAC Parade of Nations. So, at this point in the proceedings, the theme of the 17th Biennial Conference is bringing us together. And we can think of no better place than Toronto to invite the world to help bring us together, Toronto being the multicultural capital of Canada. So we have registrants from 40 countries around the world, which is tremendous. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So when you see the flag of your nation being projected up on the screens, this is the audience participation part of the proceedings. We want everyone from that country to please stand up when you see your flag, please shout out your country name, and please say the phrase, "bringing us together," in your own language. So if we can begin, please. Belgium, Brazil. Croatia. Dominican Republic. Hong Kong, thank you. Iceland, welcome. India, welcome to India. Ireland. Israel. Italia, buongiorno Italia. Japan. Korea. Malta. Mexico. Netherlands, Holland. New Zealand. Norway, welcome Norway. Poland. Portugal. Qatar. Saudi Arabia. Singapore, welcome. Slovenia, welcome. South Africa, welcome. España. Sweden. Switzerland. Taiwan, welcome. Thailand, welcome. United Arab Emirates, welcome. United Kingdom, welcome. United States of America, welcome. 40 countries, the best representation ISAAC has had at a conference. Thank you very much, everyone. At this point, it is my distinct privilege and honor to provide official greetings from His Excellency, the Right Honorable David Johnston, the Governor General of Canada. And His Excellency could not be here personally, but he has sent a message of greeting. I am delighted to extend greetings to everyone in attendance at ISAAC Conference 2016, this year focusing on the inspirational theme of bringing us together. Information technologies and new communication tools have an undeniable social impact. This is especially evident when it comes to improving the lives of children and adults who are unable to use their natural voice to communicate. Regardless of the means of expression, be it the spoken or written word, Braille, or sign language, communication is key to building a smarter, more caring world. This event is an opportunity to reflect on ISAAC's achievements and successes while looking ahead to the challenges of the future. I commend the entire team for its efforts around the world and for the vital role it plays in the lives of millions of people with complex communication needs. The services you offer help pave the way to greater understanding between people. I wish you an excellent conference. Thank you, Your Excellency. At this point, it is my pleasure and privilege to provide a welcome to Ms. Susan Piccarello, who is the Director of the Assistive Devices Program at the Ontario Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care. Ms. Piccarello.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank you all for inviting me here at this really important conference, because we all know that being able to communicate and get our wishes known is very, very important in our quality of life. I just want to give you a bit of background on the Assisted Devices Program, which is part of the Province of Ontario's Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care, for those of you that don't know about the program. We provide 18 different categories of devices, 8,000 different devices, to people with long-term physical disabilities to help them live independently. These include wheelchairs and communication aids, as well as home oxygen and a variety of other devices. And it's really important that we provide this assistance so that people, again, can live as independently as possible. In terms of communication aids, we provided about $1.5 million in funding last year to 1,700 individuals to provide them with communication aids. We also have support for the augmentative communication centers, which are really, really important in helping assess people. And so this is really key, and we've been across the province. We have them up north as well as in the southern part of the province. So we are always striving to do the best we can, but without everyone working together and coming up with new technologies and new ways to improve communications, the communication aids would only be a tool to getting to the success so that people can speak their own minds and speak independently. So thank you, and thank you for including us in this important conference.
Thank you, Ms. Piccarello, for your message and for being here today. At this point, I'd now like to introduce the ISAAC International President, Mr. Gregor Renner.
Hello and welcome all you delegates from all these different countries. I'm happy to see that many persons. You will hear the exact figures from Franklin, but we have over 1,000 delegates from over 50 countries, and I'm very happy that you all joined the theme of this conference to bring us all together. We want to thank at this point all the sponsors and exhibitors who joined us in this conference and support us in financial respect and help us to make this conference a success. You see all the sponsors on the slides, and please thank all of them for helping us with this conference.
So I just want to just to go over the deal with the sponsors a little bit more. I just want to let everyone know what each sponsor has in fact been supporting. So first off on the sponsor list is Star Alliance. Star Alliance is the official airline network for ISAAC 2016. So I know a lot of you have booked your flights here to Toronto through the Star Alliance network. So a big vote of thanks to them for extending a sponsorship to our conference. At the communicator level, our sponsors include Taylor and Francis, and they are supporting the ISAAC Conference 2016 Research Symposium. As well at the communicator level is Vitamix. Vitamix is the official sponsor of the ISAAC 2016 Blender Bar. For those who wish to have your food blended, please make sure to come to the Blender Bar during lunch hour, which is located in the Frontenac foyer, just outside the Frontenac ballroom. Please ask your server at official ISAAC dinners, the President's reception, most notably, if you require this service. Also, during morning and afternoon coffee breaks, be sure to drop by the Vitamix blender for a free smoothie sample. And I can promise you they're very healthy too. As time is limited during coffee breaks, samples are going to be offered during the 4 days, but we're going to try and make sure everyone gets a nice sample taste. So those are our communicator level sponsors. Thank you very much. Our visionary level sponsors, we extend a warm thank you to the Government of Canada through the Department of Canadian Heritage, who is supporting financially the French language translation that is being provided here at ISAAC Conference 2016. We also want to extend our thanks to Holland Bloorview Kids Rehabilitation Hospital, who are supporting the scientific paper presentations. Thank you. Moving on to our investor level sponsors. We are, of course, grateful to Assistiveware. This is the second conference that they have been supporting the new Professionals Travel Assistance Grant. So thank you very much, Assistiveware. And also, we also want to thank Daisy, the official sponsor of the 2016 conference delegate bags. Thank you. Still dealing with the investor level sponsors, we want to thank PACE, a local Toronto organization located here in Toronto, who are supporting our attendance services staff. We're also grateful to Communication Matrix, Oregon Health and Science University, who are supporting the People from Emerging AAC Countries Travel Assistance Grant. And as well, we want to extend a thanks to PRC, Prentke Ramich Company, official sponsor of our USB flash drives. Please join me in offering special congratulations to PRC, who are celebrating their 50th year of empowering communications. Our hospitality sponsors, we're thankful and grateful for Peller Estates Winery, a very famous Ontario winery, who are supporting the ISAAC social event and President's reception. Also, thanks to Cough Drop, who are supporting the Conference 2016 social event at Steam Whistle. And please don't forget to purchase, if you haven't already done so. There are a few tickets left, your ticket for the Tuesday evening social event over at Steam Whistle, who is our other hospitality sponsor. So thank you to our hospitality sponsors. And our supporter sponsors, we are again thankful and grateful to Attainment Company for your ongoing and continued support of ISAAC. And last but certainly not least, the University at Buffalo College of Arts and Sciences, who are supporting the keynote speaker of the ISAAC Conference 2016 Research Symposium. Thank you. Thank you to all our sponsors. So just before we leave, sponsors and exhibitors, I want to make sure that you all are aware that our exhibitors and sponsors have traveled, like all of you, have traveled far and wide to be here at ISAAC Conference 2016. Please be sure to stop by and visit them and thank them for their support. There's going to be some further information a little bit later during the opening ceremonies about why it's going to be important to go into the exhibit area as well. So there's additional incentive to make sure you visit our exhibitors and our exhibit area. I would also like to thank very briefly, a few other organizations, Tourism Toronto, for their unwavering support towards the success of Conference 2016. I, of course, want to thank all of our friends here at the Westin Harbour Castle Hotel who have been working tirelessly these past months to make sure that this conference is a success. We also want to thank Starwood Hotels as a group who have also contributed. And of course, we also want to thank a local Toronto company who has also provided support, Oscar Parrott Promotions. So thank you to all our sponsors and all our exhibitors. So moving on to the next section of the opening ceremonies, you are going to hear many times over the coming 4 days, and I too want to reiterate that a conference of this size does not happen by itself, and it does not happen overnight. There have literally been hundreds and hundreds of people who have been involved, volunteers, co-chairs, committee chairs. We are so thankful for everyone who has contributed time, energy, and effort in helping to make this conference a success, and you're going to hear about them all as we move through the program. But I also want to extend a personal thanks to a group of people who have been working very hard over the last 2 years since the conference in Portugal, and who worked on that conference in Portugal as well. So there's been a 4-year span where ISAAC has shifted its abilities to to host a conference like this, and we're so grateful to be able to bring in-house a lot of the organizational details that in previous conferences had been contracted out to others. And it's as no small measure due to the efforts of these individuals. So I'm going to read you a list of names, and when I'm finished reading the names, I'm just going to ask the individuals who I've named to please stand and just please wave to the crowd. So the ISAAC International staff who have been tremendously supportive to all of us: Heather Stonehouse, ISAAC's Manager of Communications; Therese Eldier, ISAAC's Membership Coordinator; Judy Shapiro, Conference 2016 Sponsorship Specialist; Tony Nieder, Conference 2016 Exhibitor Sales Specialist; and Ivan Simon, ISAAC's Software IT Technology Consultant. Please stand, everyone. Please say hello. Thank you. So at this point, I'm now going to hand the proceedings over to one of our Conference 2016 co-chairs, Shelley Deegan.
Good morning. I'm going to introduce a couple of my dear friends. I think a lot of you know Vic Valentic. Currently sitting on the executive of ISAAC. And I want to introduce you to another friend, Vivian Butch. And Vivian just wanted, oh, did he disappear already? Slid away into thin air. Ah, just down here. And her wonderful husband, Mr. Wonderful, she calls him Mike. We're going to share a song with you that was written by Vivian. And it was professionally recorded, and that was funded by ISAAC very generously. And Vivian just wanted to say that the words of this song come straight from her heart. She's very, very happy to be able to share this song with you this morning, and also wants to tell anyone who uses a communication device, if they would like to have this song loaded onto their device, we can coordinate that over the course of the conference. So you could mention that at the ISAAC booth. We can load it onto a device if you would like to have it. And so today, Vic is going to perform the song for Vivian. And I just want to say now that from both Vivian and Vic, peace and love to all of you.
I'm a regular Stephen Hawking, I got a lot to say. 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 Have a voice, I can speak my choice. It's mechanical, but it's me. What to wear, decide to go there. So much to do, so much to be. Talk to me, and I'll answer back. It blows your mind away. I got a lot to say. 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 Sad for me, got a job, made a career. All I did was overcome fear. Won't hold me back, now that's a fact. Hard work and victory will achieve. When I walk, I can use my voice. I can be quiet, now that's by choice. I got a lot to say. I still got a lot to say. Got a lot to say. Got a lot to say. Strife, love one another is the key to life. Some days are tough, life and stuff won't keep me down, rather laugh than frown. You love me when I feel blue, I can tell you I love you. Life is good, so much to do. Oh, did I say that I love you? I got a lot to say. I got a lot to say. Got a lot to say. I got a lot to say. And Vivian didn't want to say too much about. I just always think people can hear me all the time because I've always got such a big booming voice. But just pause a second before Vivian leaves, because she didn't want to have too much about herself. But you have to appreciate Vivian's shoes. She's the ultimate shoe lady. So keep your eyes out for Vivian's shoes as the week progresses, because you're going to want to check them out, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Oops, did I do that? Did I hit a button to do that? Oops, no. Okay. Wait.
I'm very pleased to announce our this year keynote speaker, John Draper. John graduated as journalist and founded the organization Together We Rock. And his ongoing engagement is to build inclusive and accessible communities all over Canada with a special focus on Ontario. Please welcome with me John Draper.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your warm welcome. I am honored to be with you today. Actually, I'm really excited and also not as nervous as I sometimes get when I deliver a presentation. Why such tranquility? Well, you are the audience that truly understands the life of an AAC user. I know that if there is an occasional stutter in my voice output technology, you will turn to the person beside you and whisper, "Been there." And if my entire communication system fails, I know I will suddenly be surrounded by engineers and technical consultants from the audience, all eager to solve the problem. I am in good company. Bring us together. What a wonderful theme for this ISAAC conference. This is our moment to come together, to embrace possibilities, to bring together our ideas and our passion, to realize our unlimited potential, to come together with the common purpose of transforming lives and, ultimately, our world. We bring together our gifts of the human spirit to radiate awesomeness. Like others here today, my journey as an AAC user has been all about bringing together people who have helped me to find my voice. One group we need to bring us together is the clinicians, the speech and language pathologists, the occupational therapists, and the communication consultants. You remain my rock and my rock stars. Your passion to enrich the human spirit is often infectious. You never tried to fix me. You were committed to valuing my choices, but still made your point when necessary. You never treated me as your client. I was always John, a person. And I've learned to tolerate your addiction to Velcro. As some of you will know, I was definitely not an AAC poster child. I had this stubborn streak. In fact, still do. For the first few years of my life, I used facial expressions and gestures to communicate. I learned that if I looked at something, like a glass of juice, my family could usually guess what I wanted. My facial expressions and gestures helped me to express what I needed, and my eye gazing got lots of attention. My family became experts at playing the game of 20 questions. Things were going well. In my preschool years, it was decided that I needed a better method of communication. I was introduced to the international language of bliss symbols. Every item in our household was labeled with these symbols to help me learn their meaning. I found these symbols difficult to figure out. The constant confused look on my face suggested that this approach was not working for me. To make sure there was no misunderstanding, I also vocalized my opinion on this approach loudly. Next, we tried a symbol system that consisted of a combination of photographs and illustrations of objects displayed in a communication book. I liked looking at my communication book, but decided that pointing to what I wanted was too much effort. Eye-gazing with loud vocalizations was still my preferred method, and it usually resulted in an immediate response. Everyone was certain I had the ability to communicate using symbols. However, I wasn't too cooperative. My vocalizations of discontent got louder. My parents soon got wise to my strategy. They began attending behavior management classes behind my back. Instead of responding immediately to my behavior, they began to ignore my antics. I was no longer the center of the universe. This was not a welcome change. I escalated to level 1 screaming. As I got better at pointing, more symbols and pictures were added to my communication book, which meant it was now 8 pages long. If I wanted to communicate on several topic areas, I became exhausted just flipping the pages. I now perfected level 2 screaming. At this point, the symbols I used were organized on a bigger display on the tray of my wheelchair. My communication board was changed each week to reflect new vocabulary and phrases I learned at school. When I started to spell on my communication board, some of my classmates thought I was like Vanna White on Wheel of Fortune. They would come over to me and drill me on the spelling of different words. Spell dog, spell cat, spell house, spell car. I almost lost my mind. It was now definitely not socially acceptable for me to scream, but I still did. The challenge to make the transition to my use of assistive computer technology sent a whole lot of people into therapy. But fast forward to the present, and here I am, a happy AAC user. In most ways, I'm living the life I imagined. I'm surrounded by a wonderful family, friends, and colleagues. Living on my own is a goal I'm pursuing. My business, Together We Rock, is thriving. I've written 1 book, and another is in the works. I'm relatively socially adjusted, although my younger brother might challenge that statement. I still have the odd tantrum, but only when I'm watching my favorite hockey team lose yet another game. Yes, I cheer for the Toronto Maple Leafs. In the end, I found my voice mainly because clinicians came together to make it happen. There was an added bonus along the way. We all became great spellers. Another group we need to bring us together is the educators. You are the magicians at pulling potential out of a hat, when some people would say there is none. You are committed to inspiring learning for all students. When I started kindergarten, I was not your typical looking or acting kid. I had limited ability to communicate. I sported oversized shoes with orthotic supports and wore diapers. I constantly drooled and so had to wear a bib. I definitely was not the Brad Pitt of kindergarten. In elementary school, I became frustrated at not being able to communicate. In the span of 1 semester, I went through 3 behavioral management therapists and 2 youth counselors. The naysayers started to emerge, raising questions about whether I belonged in a regular classroom. But my educators persevered, and they never treated me as special. I never wanted to be treated differently. So the day I got a detention turned out to be a day of celebration. It all started with this kid who really bugged me. He was playing hide and seek with the other kids and said I couldn't play. I decided to take revenge. While he was counting, I came up behind him in my wheelchair and blocked him in the corner. I could see I had really scared this kid. The principal was not impressed and gave me a detention. My parents grounded me. At first, I was stunned. But then I realized that I was being treated just like all the other students, and that made me feel much better. I learned a lot from my detention. Eventually, I began to make academic progress, and my ability to communicate improved. By the time I left elementary school, I was reading at grade level and passing math. Okay, just barely. And I had convinced the school board that French was not going to enrich my life. Thanks to the support of educators and peers, I also made it through high school, and then headed off to study journalism at college. The proudest moment in my life so far is the day I graduated from college. I'd worked hard and even survived an unplanned trip down a flight of stairs on campus. As I crossed the stage to receive my diploma, I remembered the incredible contributions of the educators who had helped me get to this moment. I also remembered the naysayers, and I smiled. To bring us together, we need the researchers too. These are the explorers who live discovery every day. I know your importance firsthand because I'm an AAC lab rat. In my lifetime, I've been involved in more than 20 research initiatives. I've participated in your quest to learn more about literacy, communication patterns and facilitation, low and high-tech approaches, inclusive education, quality of life, and technology. In some research studies, I've even been able to live a secret double life under the pseudonym Josh or Malcolm. Over the years, I've learned two important lessons about researchers. First, your contribution is critical, not just for the here and now, but for the future. Your discoveries lead to new approaches and technologies and remind us that we don't always have to do things the way they've always been done. Most importantly, your work enables you to listen intently to the perspective of AAC users. The second lesson I've learned, and I say this with the greatest respect, is that researchers appear to have a common flaw. Amid all your brilliance, your time management skills need work. You will always tell me that my involvement in your initiative will not take much of my time. This has never been the case. But I've finally figured out the formula you use. Your projection of 1 hour of my time actually equals 10 hours in real time. That's okay. You're still worth it. To bring us together, we need the wizards and the inventors too. You are the engineers, the technicians, the programmers, the product developers, and so many other technology experts. With your skill and creativity, you transform a mound of wires and metal into a functioning and well-designed communication system that can withstand any of my adventures. Okay, my communication system didn't do well on the bungee jumping trip, but that may not have been a realistic expectation. I've learned that you speak a totally different language from me, with words like interface, drive point, and microprocessor. But we still understand each other well. Your problem-solving skills are beyond compare. Throughout my AAC journey, I've appreciated the way you listen to everyone's suggestions and then turn to me to ask, "So, John, what's really important to you?" To the wizards and the inventors in the audience, I want to say, I have a dream. One day, I would like to have a voice for my technology that I choose and can afford, because the synthetic voice has its drawbacks. So often, in the presentations that I deliver to school audiences, a young student will come up to me afterward to ask if I'm related to Stephen Hawking because we sound alike. Now, don't get me wrong. It would be an absolute honor to be related to this famous British Nobel Peace Prize winner. However, it's hard to explain to an inquisitive 6-year-old that there's a big difference between Dr. Hawking and myself. He's the author of The Theory of Everything, and on a good day, I'm lucky if I can spell the word everything. I have always admired the efforts of ISAAC to come together with AAC users and their families. In a way, we are your compass. Not only do we ask you to help us find our voice, we also ask you to think big. We're looking for solutions that allow us not just to participate in our communities, but to live in them fully. It's a tall order, and there's rarely a simple solution. Sometimes it means we have to go back to the drawing board to find something that works. Let me give you an example. When I was in grade school, my communication team was convinced that the best solution to give me an independent means of turning my computer on and off was a voice-activated switch. In the rehabilitation center, this switch worked perfectly. In my school setting, it was a different story. Because my vocalization fluctuates, the computer began to respond to other voices in the classroom. My computer was turning on and off every other minute. A solution that had worked in a clinical setting didn't suit my world. So we went back to the drawing board and came up with an idea that worked. As AAC users and families, we ask you to ensure that your practices and research are relevant to our lives. Actually, we do a lot of asking. I suspect we're sometimes a pain, but you respond by listening, and that brings us together. ISAAC has chosen to bring us together here in Toronto. It's a magnificent city, and you're going to love it. If you're the adventurous type, you can do the Edge Walk on the CN Tower. My Together We Rock colleague, Katie, and her friends highly recommend it. Let me know when you're going, and I'll spot from the ground. If arts and culture are your thing, the awesome paintings of the Group of 7 await you at the Art Gallery of Ontario. As much as you'd like to, you can't take these paintings home. If you're more the outdoorsy type, hop on the ferry and visit the Toronto Islands to bike, walk, or swim. Don't forget your sunscreen. For the sports fans, our Blue Jays baseball team made sure they were playing at home this week, so you wouldn't miss them. Then, there's the Distillery District for a night of fun. May I suggest you try the Mill Street Brew Pub for their organic beer? And to live up to our reputation as polite and welcoming Canadians, we've ensured that your shopping experience will be memorable by devaluing our dollar. Over the days we're together, we have an incredible opportunity to learn, to discover, to connect, and to have fun. Together, we have the knowledge and the leadership to turn possibilities into realities. The challenges are always worth it, because one day, on a stage just like this one, there will be a presenter who will look out at the audience with outstretched arms and say, with heartfelt gratitude, "Thank you for transforming my life to enable me to contribute to our world." In that moment, you'll see your success, and you'll know that when idea forums like this one bring us together, then together we rock. Welcome to ISAAC 2016. Thank you.
Wow. Thanks so much, John. I think we're all speechless. I just wanted to highlight a few important items and events that are going to happen over the week, and I'm going to start by talking about the town hall meeting. So we are holding a town hall meeting for people who use augmentative communication. That's going to happen today. It's going to be in the Metro West Ballroom, so one of the sides of this room, whichever one is west. It's going to start at 3 o'clock and run until 5. Our two co-chairs are Nola Millen and Jess Weber, so we're very happy that they're going to be chairing the meeting. So at a town hall meeting, anyone who uses AAC will have a chance to participate. Other people are welcome to come and listen, but we can't join in. Everyone who uses AAC is welcome to join in a circle and share their ideas, and all ideas are welcome. It's a chance to talk with people from around the world who also use AAC. So what are we going to talk about at this meeting? Well, as you know, because ISAAC is an international organization, we represent people from all over the world who have different cultures and customs, but we have many things in common as well as many differences. So in this town hall meeting, we're going to talk about what brings us together. So our co-chairs will pose some questions to the group, like, how are we the same? How are we different? What makes me strong? What makes us strong together? How can we change the world? And if I can do anything in the world, what would that be? So together, I'm going to show you a short clip as well of what a town hall meeting can look like. But at this meeting together, you'll be able to interact with one another, and we'll sit by and learn from you, as we always do. So I'd like to just show you a short clip of a town hall meeting that we often host here in Toronto at a biennial conference called Breaking the Ice, just to give you an idea of what a town hall meeting would look like. So you may notice yourselves in those videos. You might notice some friends in those videos. So please don't miss it. It's not to be missed. Another item not to be missed in the program that we wanted to highlight is the Outstanding Consumer Lecture. And that's also going to be happening in this ballroom. It's a plenary session, so it's unopposed. That will be happening on Wednesday at 2 o'clock until 3:30. And we're very pleased that the award winner is Glenda Watson-Hyatt, and she'll be talking to us about finding your dream, the North Star for your life's journey. So please join us for that. You'll learn more about Glenda when you come to the Outstanding Consumer Lecture. Lastly, for me, I just wanted to highlight some of the accessibility features of the conference. So we've aimed to make ISAAC 2016 as accessible as possible for you. Some of the items that we've done and lined up, we've added a little bit of extra attendant care. We know that everyone has brought their own attendant, and we've also added some limited and additional attendant care services provided by PACE. You can sign up for a little bit of extra help at a particular time. If you go to the ISAAC booth, there's sign-up sheets there, and the PACE staff are all wearing green shirts, bright green shirts, so a little bit different color than the volunteer shirts. We have a charging station, so if your device needs a good charge, that will be in the bay room, which is downstairs and around the corner. Franklin already mentioned the blender bar, so that will be open through the lunch hours if you need to puree your foods or make an alternative texture for your foods. We've also set up a respite room, which is downstairs as well, in the Richmond room. And in the respite room, it's an area with some privacy, a place that you can get out of your chair, take a rest. It could also be an area that you could do some any personal hygiene that you might need. As far as the presentations given by people who use augmentative communication, we've aimed to make many of them in this building as well, to not have to travel back and forth across the Skyway. So in the Young Room is where you will find most of the presentations that are given by people who use AAC. So please try and join those. As far as accessible washrooms, there are many, many accessible washrooms throughout the hotel. We've also transformed the women's washroom just outside of this large ballroom to the right, with a changing station and a unisex station with some changing beds that can be used as well. So you can find help to get to these places by finding a volunteer that can direct you. So there are a few tricky spots of navigation through the hotel. It's an older building, but it is accessible. There just might be a convoluted way to get where you need to go. So ask the volunteers to help if you get stuck in a place. Lastly, and very importantly, we've endeavored to do some communication access training here in the venue, and also almost 100 local businesses have been provided with some training regarding how to communicate with people that use augmentative communication. And that was provided by Communication Disabilities Access Canada. So look for the symbol that could be posted about on your travels. All right, so now I'm going to hand it over back to Franklin. Enjoy your conference.
Thank you very much, Tracy. I've, of course, been given the enviable task of taking you through the most exciting portion of the program, not housekeeping items. So I just want to, we are doing what we can to endeavor and as much work as we can to make sure that this conference is a positive, warm, safe, and welcoming environment for everyone. So with that in mind, you've already heard one of the courtesy requirements prior to the start of our opening ceremonies, and that is to please have your cell phones and other smart devices turned to mute, particularly during presentations, please. If you need to make a telephone call or answer a text or tweet or whatever, outside of presentation rooms, that would be most appreciated. Please also remember not to take pictures or videos during sessions. It can be disruptive to both presenters and other individuals wanting to take in the session. And please also remember that you did sign an acknowledgement form, and amongst the items on that form was an agreement to help ensure an enjoyable conference experience for all of us. So please keep that in mind. Thank you. In terms of safety, we strive to, as I said, make sure that this is a safe environment for everyone. If you happen to come across someone or see a situation where an individual is in distress, your first course of action is, of course, to call 911. If it is not an emergency situation, then please ask a volunteer for assistance, or please ask a member of the hotel staff for assistance. Again, we want to ensure everyone's safety and enjoyment. For those who have traveled to our wonderful city from outside the province of Ontario, I will remind you that Ontario law requires that there is no smoking anywhere inside the conference venue or hotel and within designated areas outside of the hotel and conference center. So if you do need to go outside and have a smoke, please ensure that you're doing so in a public area where you can do so. In terms of presentation and presentation materials, I have been told that it is 2016, and that the printing of documents, the mass printing of documents, is something that we really don't do anymore, particularly for environmental considerations and ensuring the health of our planet. So we have gone electronic, as everyone else has in the world, and presentation materials have been uploaded to session folders on Dropbox. Those session folders have been made public. They are accessible through the ISAAC website, and you've already received communication on that, and we'll be repeating that communication as well during the course of the conference. As well, for presenters, each and every presentation room is outfitted with a sound system, with computers, and your presentation materials, if you have uploaded them to Dropbox, they will be available for you. If you wish, by all means, and you have your presentation materials on a USB flash drive, by all means bring them with you as well. Backups are always a good idea. As I mentioned before, recording in sessions, please don't do it. If you are recording without permission, you'll be asked to stop or asked to leave the session. Please keep in mind that there will be volunteers who will be filming just the sights and sounds of Conference 2016 in the public areas of the venue. So by all means, if you want to be on camera, by all means, please do. They will be asking you in advance, though, so if you don't wish to be on camera, they will respect that decision also. For professionals who are interested and want continuing education units, ISAAC, in association with ASHA, is, of course, offering ASHA CEUs for Conference 2016. I want to extend a big thanks to Pat Orand for helping us again this year organize that. Information is available up on the ISAAC website about the CEU program. There is a form fillable PDF on our website that is to be used for poster sessions only. For regular presentation sessions, in-room presentations I should say, we have badge scanners that we are using. Your badges will be scanned as you enter a presentation session, and so that data will be submitted for the CEU program. And please keep in mind that by allowing your registration badge to be scanned at a particular session, you are providing your confirmation and attestation of attendance at that session. We, of course, have Wi-Fi access throughout the facility. We have an internet cafe in the facility. All guest rooms should be equipped with free Wi-Fi. If you have an issue or you're not able to connect, please do contact the hotel. They will be more than happy to assist you. Wi-Fi is available in all conference rooms. As delegates, you should all have received a code to access the network. If you haven't, or you're not sure how to access, please speak to a volunteer or please speak to our registration desk. They will be more than happy to assist you. There is, of course, also an internet cafe in our bay room for anyone who wants to be able to access the internet to be able to do so. As far as amenities, coffee breaks, morning and afternoon coffee breaks are going to be served in the Frontenac foyer just outside of the Frontenac Ballroom, which is our main exhibition hall. Please, by all means, use that as an opportunity to stop by our exhibitor booths and thank our exhibitors for their continuing support of ISAAC to help make this conference a reality and a success. And for those of you who have pre-purchased Oxford Properties gift cards, you should have received them at registration check-in. For those of you who may be uncertain where RBC Water Park Place is, it is diagonally across the street from the conference venue, fully accessible, very easy to get to, and we've arranged beautiful weather so nobody has to get wet doing it. Please make sure to come to the Frontenac Ballroom, stop by the ISAAC booth during exhibit hall hours each and every day. It is by stopping by the ISAAC booth in the exhibit hall each and every day and having your badge scanned that will make you eligible for our fabulous closing ceremonies grand prize or prize draw, including a couple of very special grand prizes, which I will get into in a few moments. As I said, only conference attendees whose badges are scanned at least once a day at the ISAAC booth are eligible to be drawn for a prize. And please also keep in mind, sorry EB and sorry sponsors, the draw is open only for fully paid conference attendees. It's not open to sponsors, exhibitors, ISAAC Council, board, and ISAAC staff. So those of you who don't fall into that category, you're still good to go. Our winners will be announced at the closing ceremonies, and if selected, you do have to be present at the closing ceremonies to be able to claim your prize. So, draw prizes, selected silent auction contributors. I do want to just thank the organizations who have provided prizes for both. First of all, starting with Starwood Hotels, they have contributed points towards a one-night stay at any Starwood Hotel property. So thank you to Starwood Hotels. We also want to give a thanks to a local Toronto company, Wrap Artist Baskets, who have contributed a number of items. Toronto Raptors t-shirts, our wonderful NBA basketball team that did very well this season. So there are some prizes there available as well. Thank you, Wrap Artist Baskets. We want to thank Canadian Abilities Foundation, who are providing 2 one-year print subscriptions to Abilities Magazine. So thank you very much to them. Steam Whistle Brewing, the Steam Whistle Brewing Company, which is where our social event is being held. They have a gift basket that's part of the silent auction, valued at well over $100, so thank you, Steam Whistle. Again, another vote of thanks to Tourism Toronto for their prizes for the silent auction. I'm leaving the last two to the end. I also want to shout out to one of our exhibitors, Vocal ID. Please stop by their booth. They are providing a certificate for a unique digital voice valued at over $1,200, and it's redeemable for a custom digital voice crafted by Vocal ID. So please stop by their booth because they are going to be running the registration for that prize at their booth, and the winner will be announced at the closing ceremonies. So thank you to Vocal ID. And lastly, a big thanks to ISAAC International that is also providing another closing ceremonies grand prize along with Vocal ID, and that grand prize is going to be a fully paid registration for ISAAC Conference 2018, and in addition, 7 nights hotel stay at a conference venue hotel. So, thank you to everyone who has stepped up to help make this conference a tremendous success. Make sure to get your badges scanned, be at the closing ceremonies. If you're interested in Conference 2018, the venue is going to be announced during the membership meeting, which is occurring on Wednesday, and it will also be announced at the closing ceremonies, and there will be a spectacular, right choice of words, spectacular closing ceremonies presentation. So thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to just move, sharing your photos you were going to do too, but that's I'll talk about it. So So you're welcome to take photos where it's allowed, because at closing ceremonies we'll also have a photo montage of the conference, which has become kind of an ISAAC tradition. So bring your photos to the ISAAC booth. If you bring your SD card, we'll download it. If you're using a device that doesn't have an SD card, you can send it to this, jot down this email address, and we'll have that at the ISAAC booth as well. And you can send it to that, or you can share on Twitter and Facebook. We won't necessarily use those at the photo montage because it'll be a little harder to pull those off, but please go ahead and share. Okay, there's a couple more things. Anyway, so there's committee meetings and there's chapter meetings throughout the week. Please, they're listed in your programs, and they'll also go out in the e-blast that will come out every evening prior to the next day. The silent auction, which is very generously supported by the Friends of ISAAC, will be up and running by Tuesday. It will not be active today. But you can bring your silent auction items before that, and that will be located at the very back of the exhibitor hall up on the stage. And also just a reminder about the Build book donation. Okay, yeah, we have a few.
So I just wanted to make sure you've heard a lot about ask a volunteer, check with a volunteer. So you should probably know what the volunteers look like. You've probably maybe met some or come across them as you came in this morning. Nice, bright blue t-shirts. So if you see them with the conference logo on them or from the back, easily identified, volunteer on it. We've got a great group. We've actually had over about 115 volunteers that have stepped forward to come and help out throughout the conference in the week. So they're all trying their best. They've got a general lay, at least of the conference area and the hotel, how to get from conference side to hotel side. So please do not hesitate. They're there to help you in any way they can. If they don't have the answer, they will work as hard as they can to find that or to connect you with the next person. They will also be playing a very important role of being room moderators within the presentation rooms. So as you will see in your conference books and at past ISAAC conferences, often within a 2-hour presentation time or an hour and a half, there might be 2 or 3 presentations in the same room, all with different running times. The volunteers will be helping the presenters out by giving them some time warnings as they're getting down and short on their time. And they will give you a warning at 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and 1 minute. And if you can start making sure you're wrapping up at that last indication so that when they hit the 0 card, the one presenter can move off and the next can get up and started so that everybody has the allotted time that they're expecting for their presentations. So as it says there, if you're lost, need information, or just any questions, find a blue shirt, and the volunteers will help as best as they can. Thanks.
Okay, I know it's 10:30, but we had a little late start, so if you can just bear with me for a few more minutes, we're going to talk about social events quickly, and then I will let you go and be ready for your sessions at 11. So tonight, we have the welcome reception, and the first inaugural, we're hoping it might continue, film festival. So we're very excited because we've had submissions from around the world, and as well, there's going to be a jazz band playing in the Harbour Ballroom, and we're going to have past hors d'oeuvres, and we're going to have cash bars, so it should be quite an event. The film will actually be shown in the Pier 2-3 as an open room and Pier 4-5 as an open room. We'll have volunteers at key points to direct people, and we've had staggered showings because we couldn't fit everybody in one room at one time. So it'll be the same thing during the 4 showings, so whichever one works out best for you, you're welcome to attend. And we just want to show you a little bit of a trailer for the film festival to get you all excited about it. And we are, most all the filmmakers, either the people in the film or people involved with the film, are going to be present for you to meet, and they'll all be in Pier 4-5 for the first showing. And you'll also see them around by their posters that are going to be displayed on the red carpet over at the Harbour Ballroom. So the next night, Tuesday night, is our cultural night at Steam Whistle, and it's a ticketed event, but if you haven't bought your ticket, you still have a chance. Tickets will be sold at the registration desk, so feel free to buy a ticket and join us for the event if you haven't already. And the Steam Whistle Brewery is very close by. We're going to have volunteers in the blue shirts at key points to help direct you over there, but it literally is 10 to 15 minute walk or wheel drive. And it's just right down Queens Quay, which is the street right out in front of here. And you go down to Lower Simcoe, turn right, and you go up to the Steam Whistle, turn left on Bremner, so it's just a couple turns. Nice walk on a nice evening. And there's an old roundhouse there. There's a great history in Canada of the railroad. Again, bringing us together is our theme. The railroad across Canada, we're a very wide country, and the railroad is what brought us together as a nation, so we chose Steam Whistle to bring in our theme of bringing us together as the AAC community around the world. There's going to be a photo booth there. We have food stations representing different cultures in Toronto, and there's going to be dancing available, and there's an outdoor patio, beautiful views of the CN Tower, so it's going to be a great event. Oh, and you do get a free drink when you arrive with your ticket. After that, it's a cash bar. And then on Wednesday night, we have the President's Reception, which is going to be in this very location that you're at right now. It will be a served dinner, there will be cash bars, and we have a very exciting live band called 905 Band that will be performing. We're going to have lots of room and lots of time for lots of dancing. Should be a wonderful night. And our last thing, we have a mascot this year. We've introduced a mascot for ISAAC. It is Isaac the Moose, and if any of you who follow Isaac on Twitter or Facebook, you're going to have seen Isaac. Here is Isaac. And he's been traveling around in Canada. How many people have seen any posts about Isaac so far? A few people? Good. Okay, well, you know, check him out. And just a little details about Isaac. So he's going to travel around the conference. I don't know if anybody's kind of seen the Flat Stanley thing too that travels around. So it's the same kind of concept. Isaac is going to travel around the conference. We're hoping he doesn't get lost or decide to go back to Muskoka over the next 4 days. We're hoping he stays in Toronto at the conference. So we would like to, we're going to start out, we're going to give him to somebody in just a moment. And your role, if you start with Isaac, is to pass him along to a friend. At any point in time, he can stay with you for an hour, he can stay with you for a few hours, but the idea is to pass Isaac along to somebody else, take a photo of yourself with Isaac, take it over to the Isaac booth and have it shared at the closing ceremonies, put it up on Facebook, add it to Twitter, whatever you'd like to do with Isaac. You can also write a little note about your adventures with Isaac in the little notepad at the back that we have in his backpack with the Canada pen attached as well. So, and we hope he comes back to closing ceremonies. So whoever has him at the end of the conference, please bring him to closing ceremonies. Okay, so I would like to ask for a volunteer of who would like to start Isaac's travels. Oh, Vic, of course. I guess we won't object to that. Okay, guess what? We're not too bad. We're only 10 minutes late. So go off, enjoy your conference, have a wonderful time. This is break. The next sessions will start at 11.